The US military has begun construction on a pier meant to boost deliveries of desperately needed aid to Gaza.
Right, the small coastal territory has been devastated by more than 6 months of Israeli bombings and ground operations against Hamas militants.
As an update for our humanitarian assistance support operations to establish the maritime corridor off the coast of Gaza, I can confirm that U.S. military vessels, to include the USNS Benavidez, have begun to construct the initial stages of the temporary pier and causeway at sea.
Earlier, a UN spokesperson said a United Nations team in the Gaza Strip visiting the site for a pier and the staging area for maritime and aid operations had to seek shelter in a bunker for some time after the area came under fire, highlighting the dangers in Gaza. Pentagon spokesperson said that some type of mortar attack caused minimal damage near an onshore area but had not impacted US operations or equipment.
Meanwhile, reports say that Israel is reportedly willing to come down from its original demand for Hamas to release 40 living hostages in exchange for a temporary ceasefire in Gaza. This after the terror group refused an offer crafted by Qatari, Egyptian and US negotiators that would have seen it free that many abductees.
Reports say that Israel is now willing to accept the release of just 20 hostages in the first phase of the truce deal, so long as those released are either women, men over 50 years of age and those who are seriously ill.
On the other hand, a pro-Palestinian US group filed a federal civil rights complaint against Columbia University, and this comes following last week's mass arrest of more than 100 demonstrators. This comes as student demonstrations over the Israel-Hamas war are popping up on an increasing number of colleges in the United States of America.
Protests on many campuses have been orchestrated by coalitions of student groups. The groups largely act independently, though students say they're inspired by peers at other universities.
Well, several dozen students at the University of California, Los Angeles joined the nationwide Gaza demonstration encampment movement in a peaceful demonstration. Well, according to the encampment media team, the demonstrators are largely made up of students and they are demanding the university to refrain from corporations that they say profit from the Israel-Hamas war. And they're also calling for an immediate ceasefire.
The University of Texas campus saw peaceful protests. University officials pulled back the campus barricades and allowed another demonstration involving students and some faculty on the main square underneath the school's iconic clock tower.
While about 50 students at George Washington University set up a tent encampment on the school's university yard. Harvard University in Cambridge, they locked most gates into its famous Howard Yard to prepare for any demonstrations which may emerge. Meanwhile, Boston police said that 108 people were arrested at an encampment at Emerson College. Police say that 4 officers suffered injuries that were not considered life-threatening. And other colleges to see encampments were Northwestern University, Yale, and much more. Overall, more than 530 arrests have been made in the last week across major U.S. colleges in relation to the demonstrations over the ongoing war in Gaza.
All right, for more on these protests, our correspondent Susan Tehrani sent us this report from New York.
Columbia University President Minouche Shafik is facing growing pressure to resign as pro-Palestinian protests continue on campus and spread to other colleges nationwide. Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson visited Columbia's campus, calling for Shafik's resignation and urging her to, quote, bring order to this chaos. The protests have brought national attention to the university and America's higher education system amid a rise in anti-Semitism and unrest on college campuses. crisis. A counter-protest is currently underway here in front of Columbia in support of Israel as pro-Palestinian protesters continue their encampment inside Columbia, and a group are also standing outside in support of Palestine. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.